This is the Biafra national anthem.
Seven rows, 14 rows, 21 rows. I love to go. Man, beat.
Onye duru anyị wee bịa njem na Amerịka. Anyị bịa ka ibe leta nwanne anyị nwoke bụ nna anyị n'obodo a. Bụ onye anyị nwụrịla anya na nchekwube na eziokwu nke ya nwa na onye ji guzo. N'eziokwu a ga na-edu ụmụ Biafra na-aga n'ihu. Ọ ga na-edu IPOB na-aga n'ihu. Anyị bịara n'ụlọ ya nabata anyị were obi ọcha na obi udo wee nabata anyị. Anyị na-asị na ọ ga-adịrị ya na mma na ezinụlọ ya na mma. Anyị na-asị na ihe ọbụla anyị chọrọ bịa Amerịka anyị ga-enwetarịrị ya. N'ihi na ihe anyị na-ekwu okwu mgbe na-ewu n'ọnwụ ndụ mmiri ndụ azụ. Nwa mmụọ emegbula nwa mmadụ, nwa mmiri emegbula nwa mmụọ. Ihe anyị na-ekwu. Anyị na-asị na Biafra ga-abịara na ndụ na-awụghị n'ọnwụ. Anyị ga-eri uru ọmụmụ. Anyị ga-eri uru akụ na ụba n'ime Biafra. Anyị na-asị na onye ọwụla pụtara na sị na Biafra agaghị adị, onye ahụ agaghị adị. Anyị anaghị asị emebere nke obere nke si bebere ka ya gosi nke ọ ga-ebe. Anyị na-asị na nkụ ga-ekwe ọ ga-edo ọ ga-anwụ. Ọ bụ eziokwu ka anyị ji na-aga njem a. Ọ bụ ịhụnanya ka anyị ji na-aga ofu obi. Anyị na-asị onye ọbụla hụrụ eziokwu jide eziokwu aka, n'ihi na ọ bụ eziokwu bụ ndụ, ọ bụghị okwu asị. Anyị na-asị na ọ ga-ada anyị niile na mma. Anyị ga-ahụ echi n'ihi na echi anaghị agwụ agwụ. Anyị na-arịọ Chukwu okike abịa ma ka onye anyị ndụ nye anyị ahụ isi ike, nye anyị ngọzi nke ya, nye anyị ịhụnanya. Ekpere niile ka anyị na-ekpe ọwụ ka onye bi n'ime eluigwe ka o wee nụrụ olu anyị, wee gbatara anyị ọsọ enyemaka, wee zọpụta anyị na akpa niile nke na-akpa anyị nke bụ Biafra. Anyị na-asị n'ikpete maazụ anyị ga-enye aha nsọ ụtụtụ na nsọpụrụ na eji ama site n'ebighị ebi ma ruo n'ebighị ebi.
Amadike Biafra.
Biafra Republic.
Mmakwa na mma nweta onwe nne.
Welcome, 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 welcome. Thank you for joining us on today's program. We appreciate everyone that has connected to this program today. Thank you for being part of the program. As always, you know we will always come on daily basis to give you updates on what is happening in the restoration of Biafra. A lot is going on, and we cannot keep quiet and pretend we don't see what is happening. So everything that happens, we will bring it to your knowledge. That is why we are here. And we will continue to remind you, continue to update you of every single event that happens. And we will never look back. Wherever you are as a Biafran, you must be proud of yourself. You must be proud of yourself. And every one of us that is called a Biafran, every place you are, this is the time to be proud of yourself and be proud of whom you are. The time for you to deny your identity is no longer. Time has gone when Biafrans were denying their identity across the world. We are in a time where we can no longer keep silent, we can no longer pretend, we can no longer hide, and we can no longer continue to look away from the things that are happening. Every Biafra must prepare him or herself that the time is here. The time is now. The restoration of Biafra is on top gear. If you are a Biafran and you are not yet following up in line, I don't know what you are doing. If you are a Biafran and you still think that we are joking, shoes are broken at the most. I am very sorry for you. If you are a Biafran and you have not yet keyed into what is happening, I pity you. The time has come when we must continue to do what we have to do. The Liberation Army are on the ground giving Wotowoto to the enemies. And I bet you, wherever you are today as a Biafran, you must get yourself prepared. Get yourself prepared. We are not joking. This is not the time to joke or the time to play around. It is the time of reality. The time to face the fact. And the earlier you realize where we are today and follow things the way they are, the better for you. The liberation of Biafra has just started. And a lot of things are happening. The enemies of Biafra are receiving Wotowoto, right, left, and center. The Ogbunigwe is speaking loud, and our enemies can no longer breathe. Just as we have opened the front, all roads today lead to Biafra. Time for joking has ended. Time for propaganda has ended. Time for blackmail has ended. What you are seeing today is a complete annihilation of the terrorists in Biafra land. Every terrorist in Biafra land bearing arms, they are receiving Wotowoto. As you all know, today is the 16th day. The 16th day of the lockdown in Biafran territory. The 16th day. And as we are on the 16th day, the war is going on all angles, right, left, and center. The war is going on. and the enemy is receiving Wotowoto. They cannot succeed and they cannot deceive us. The lockdown 16-day is still here. Every institution of the zoo in Biafran territory must be locked down. Every police barrack, every military barrack, every naval barrack must be shut down for 30 days. If you do not shut down, we will help you to shut it down. And what you are watching in the video now is the shutdown of some police station in Biafran territory. If you don't agree, we will help you to agree. Gone are the days when we talk and talk and talk and talk. This time is time for action. And you are going to be seeing action going forward. My fellow Biafrans, wherever you are, prepare yourself and get ready for what is about to happen. The restoration of the independent state of Biafra is something that no human being on the earth will stop. We are preparing for the D-Day. The Biafra Convention is coming very, very soon, and the Biafrans are preparing heavily. The convention is going to take place in Lahti, Finland. In that convention, the final result of the self-referendum will be called. After the call of the final result of the self-referendum, on the 2nd of December, the declaration of the restoration of independent state of Biafra will be made. After that declaration, Biafra land will be defended all front. Biafra land will be defended in all front. And no man born of a woman is going to stand on the way of the Biafran people. We are going to defend our territory. And as we are preparing for the defense of the territory, as we speak, ministers in Biafran government are working hard 24/7. You can see our Minister of Defense very busy in the United States, meeting people that matters in the United States, having very fruitful and strong discussions. The wave of December 2nd, 2024 is all over the United States of America. The wave is blowing high in the United States of America. This is our finance minister, meeting people that matters. Wherever you are as a Biafran, you must be proud of yourself and prepare for what is coming. It is heavy. It is heavy. The wave of December 2nd, 2024 is all over the United States of America. The person you are seeing here, Biafra Republic Government in Exile, Minister for Finance, Ogechukwu Nkere, had a discussion with the congressman, Goose Barak, to discuss the Biafra Republic Government in Exile development in Biafra and the Biafran American community. I had previously had the opportunity to have a conference call with Congressman Birakis in mid-August. The congressman sympathizes with our plight and is highly supportive. For those of you who do not know what is going on, that is why these updates are very important. I will continue to update each time I come online. Some of us who are busy and not able to go down and look up, I will call your attention to what is going on. The restoration of the independent state of Biafra is not just online. It's not just we speaking online or talking. We are showing evidence on pictures, on videos, for you to go and verify. This is Biafra Minister of Finance Ogechukwu Nkere had an extensive meeting and discussion with Congressman Jeff Van Drew to discuss the Biafran Republic of Nigeria development in Biafra, and the Biafran American community. Minister Nkere also had the opportunity to discuss the self-referendum. The congressman expressed his sympathy and that he will always be available to the Biafran American community. This is how far the Biafran government is going. We are not looking back. Every step that needs to be taken is being taken. And we saw it as a breaking news from our Prime Minister. It was very bold. The Prime Minister wrote, the big news, this is the big news. The big news, Biafra Republic government in exile, Minister of Finance, Ogechukwu Nkere, had a substantive meeting and discussion with the Speaker of the United States House of Representatives, Congressman Mike Johnson, to discuss the Biafra Republic government in exile development in Biafra and the Biafran American community. This is historic and unprecedented, as Speaker Johnson is one of the most powerful individuals in the United States government and is second in the United States presidential line of succession. After the Vice President, Minister Nkere also had the opportunity to discuss the self-referendum and Nigerian sponsorship of terrorism against Biafrans, the Speaker expressed interest in and sympathy to the Biafrans' cause. At the end of the meeting, the Speaker provided a commemorative gift, which contains an official insignia of the office of Speaker of the House. This is truly historic, as never before has the Biafran issue been presented at such a high level. Now you see how far we are going, and I'm going to show you the insignia that was presented to the Biafran people. This is the powerful man we are talking about. These are people that take decisions in the United States, people that matters. We are moving up to the highest level. This is our Minister of Finance, who is busy in the United States, and you can see the insignia in his hand. That is the gift he was given by the congressman. One of the most powerful men in the United States gave him this gift and promised to stand by Biafrans and sympathize with us. This is it, for you to see it clearly. This is it. This is it. For the very first time, this is not the time that people will go online and begin to talk trash. This is not the time people will say they are doing their work on the ground. They play and they show. Every single thing that has been done, you see it on pictures and videos. Is left for you to verify. Go and verify if you want to. Get yourself busy. This is our Finance Minister, Ogechukwu Nkere, making the move, meeting the people that matters in the United States to the highest level. That is where we are going. We no longer stand out to talk. It is not the time to talk and talk and talk. It is time for action. 13 years of political thuggery, pressure group versus 2 years of Biafran liberation under Biafra government. Both pictures were taken the same day, same year. Biafra government, a year and a half picture with the Speaker of House of Representatives, United States of America, versus IPOB Nigeria criminals after 13 years, picture with unknown person in Catalonia, and they are very proud posting it after 13 years. Their Afonja colleagues can take it up from here. The internet is too quiet today. This is the difference. While we are busy going to the highest level, These two pictures you see, they were taken the same day. The same day, these two pictures. You saw the IPOB Nigeria taking people who are not known. Even in the Catalonia, the unknown figures, they don't know who they are. In Catalonia, Spain, they went and took a picture with unknown people in Catalonia, and they are sharing the picture to show that they are doing something and confusing those they confuse. And look at the picture that is being taken by the Biafran government. Biafran government took a picture with the Speaker of House of Representatives in the United States of America. The Speaker of House of Representatives in the United States of America, that is whom our finance minister met. They took a picture and he gave him an insignia. But look at what the IPOB Nigeria is sharing. Look at their own picture. This one is IPOB Nigeria. IPOB Nigeria taking a picture in Catalonia. Look at them. Look at how they are. Unknown people, they gather in the street. People they pick in the street. This is how they have been manipulating Biafrans. They make you believe they are doing something. This is how they took $700,000. This is how they took $700,000 and say they give to lobby or whatever they call it. There's one title they use. The money they stole from Biafrans, 700,000, and they say they use it for whatever, with nothing to show. Today, they are still, after 13 years, look at the picture they are taking in Catalonia. Catalonia that is still looking for their own independence from Spain. That is who they want that took picture. And they are celebrating it too. They are celebrating it to convince people they want to convince. But look at the government of Biafra. Government of Biafra. Look at the picture we are taking. United States, House of, let me not make mistake and say something else. Look at the picture. Look at the picture the Biafran government is taking. Our representative is there. Look at him. The Minister for Finance. Look at him properly. And look at the person he's taking the picture with. The United States of America. The Speaker of House of Representatives. A Speaker of House of Representatives in the United States of America. Speaker of House of Representatives in the United States of America. That is whom our finance minister went to meet. They discussed. He gave him an insignia. And they took a picture. Can you now see the difference? For those of you who are still confused, who are listening to idiots, you are still paying attention to idiots. You are still paying attention to them and you come online, you listen to them. Go look at this is Speaker of House of Representatives. That is who we met. But they went to Catalonia. Look at who they went and met in Catalonia. Look at their own picture. In Catalonia, Spain. Catalonia, they are still looking for their own independence. Even they didn't meet the people who are in charge of the Catalonia. Not even the real people. They will meet people in the street. They got people in the street and they brought them. Look at them with their shot and whatever. Look at how they appear. They went as now they are snapping picture with white people to convince their own people to show that they are doing something. This is to convince some idiots that are listening to them. And the later they will tell them to pay dues. They will pay dues and they will take it and begin to do their own personal business. But look at the Biafran government. Biafran government. The same day these two pictures were taken, that day, after 13 years, they took that picture, our own, within 2 years, space of 2 years, we are already in the United States. We are already in the White House. United States White House, we are already there. Speaker of House of Representatives in the United States. That is the person our Minister of Finance is standing beside him. Wherever you are as a Biafran, if you don't know, if you don't know where to go, you don't know what to do, it's up to you. If you continue to listen to these idiots, it is up to you. This is not the time to beg anybody to pay attention or to listen. It is not time to beg anybody. A time has come to be releasing the bombshell. And as we are releasing it, the Nigerian news are carrying it. That is the beauty. He said, Mazen Nande can say that the time will come when we will not beg them again to report our news. Today, nobody is begging them to report our news. They are the one reporting it. Nigerian news is carrying our own news. Nigerian news, they are the ones reporting it. This one says, this is what my administration as the Prime Minister of Biafra government, both in the de facto and in exile, has prevented in Biafra land. Any kidnapping in Biafra land today is being done by the Nigerian terrorists. Absolutely. And other terrorists in uniform, which is part of the reason we have ordered their total withdrawal, or we will continue to neutralize them until Biafra regain its independence. Northern Nigeria is gone, and they are very comfortable with the Islamic State. We are not worried, as they has been their wish, and as that has been their wish and choice. By the way, you are not reporting the Wotowoto the Biafran Liberation Army are given to the Nigerian terrorists. Yesterday in Lilu, the Biafran forces decimated 3 armored tanks and neutralized many of the terrorists. Why are they not reporting it? Of course, they will not report. They will not report. But whether they report it or they don't report it, for we the Biafrans, there is no going back. Today, you see, we are forcing them to report. What you are looking at here now is their news. Nigerian News Fair. Nigerian News Fair is reporting. They say Biafra Declaration, Biafra Republic of Exile, Finance Minister Nkere meets U.S. Speaker, Congressman. Their own media is now reporting it. Not be only we, they talk them now. We are no longer begging them. The Nigerian media is reporting it. They will continue to report it because they have no choice. They have no choice. Look at it. Their own media, Nigerian media, is reporting. Look at what they are reporting. Biafra Declaration, Biafra Republic of in Exile, Finance Minister Nkere meets U.S. Speaker, Congressman. Eba says. They are now reporting it. Let them continue to report it. The time has come. So if you are a Biafran and you are still joking and looking around, you don't know what you're doing. Look at the sick man. This is the sick man that went and met Joe Biden. When an ancestor meets with the living, when an ancestor meets with the living, that is him. See how he's standing. Two ancestors, two criminal ancestors. You see them. This one says breaking. We have a breaking news. Let me read the breaking news for all of us before we share a video they want to share. This is the breaking news. Our sister Amaka has united with Biafrans and we welcome her. The government of Biafra will continue to defend and represent persecuted Biafrans all over the world. I have been informed by the Biafran Canadian liaison that our Amaka will be part of Biafrans in Canada that will welcome me to Canada on the 15th of this month. Biafra, give a shout out to our new celebrity Amaka and welcome her. Now you understand. Our beloved sister Amaka, after seeing how formidable the Biafran government are, after seeing how welcoming the Biafran government are today, she has fully reunited with her own people. Remember the word of our Prime Minister. It does not matter whether you are in or out. As long as any Biafra is affected anywhere, you will be defended. That does not mean that if you are a Biafra, you stay away. Any place you are as a Biafran, try to get acquainted with the Biafran government. Stay close with the Biafran government. Stay close. Stay close. Make sure that the Biafran government knows about you, any place you are. Any place you are. If we have a liaison office in that place, please make sure you get acquainted with the liaison office. Stay close to the liaison office. Let the Biafran know your whereabouts so that when something happens, the government of Biafra will come for you. The case of Amaka is a lesson to every one of us. The Zoological Republic is after the Biafran people to bring us down any place this. If they have an opportunity to deport every one of us that have run away from their criminality, they will. The only way to secure yourself is to try to be close to your government. The government of Biafra is there to fight and speak on your behalf at all the time. Do not forget to stay close to your government. My fellow Biafrans that are watching, please, I beg you in the name of Chukwu Ogukabiam, do not deceive yourself. Do not take yourself away from the reality of today. Biafra has come to stay. It does not matter what anybody is saying. It doesn't matter what anybody is doing. Whether you agree or you do not agree, it will not stop Biafra from coming. Biafra has come to stay, and there is nothing anybody can do about it.
Biafra will come. You either allow us to go in peace, or you are going to remain pieces and Biafra will still go. I come that Nigeria will end. I come that there will end the Usman Danfodio legacy. That legacy that every time they will be talking about Usman Danfodio, you will think that Usman Danfodio manufactured an aeroplane. You would think that Usman Danfodio manufactured a car, or he invented one Ihela machine or something like that. No. Usman Danfodio have a legacy for killing northern Nigeria, for killing Hausas, conquering them, and turn them into what you see today, Hausa Fulani. That is the legacy that Usman Danfodio brought to northern Nigeria. And today, they have Usman Danfodio University. That is what they continue that particular legacy. That is the reason why the Fulanis are killing innocent Christians in the northern Nigeria and the middle belt. It is to continue the Usman Danfodio legacy, and I am here to end it. I will end it. The end of Usman Danfodio legacy will start from this year. I am telling you, go and mark it. It will start from December 2nd. Once we exit Nigeria, that legacy is gone, completely gone, because they will not have any other place to conquer. Is it us that you are going to cross our border to come and start saying you want to conquer Biafra? We did not conquer us when we were in Nigeria. It's not going to be possible.
My fellow Biafrans, we must rise up wherever we are and face the reality of today. After this update, we are going to look onto one of their conventional media. The item we got from the conventional media, let us watch and see what they are saying. You know, anything that concerns us as a Biafran, when we see it in their conventional media, we will bring it and share. Our Prime Minister have given the order. He said we should stop attacking any media houses except Channel TV, Arise TV, NTA, TVC, and all of them. The rest of them, we should leave them to do their job. And when we see content there that affects us, that has to do with us, we share it. I want you to pay attention to this very content I'm about to play. Let us hear what they are talking about us on the issue they are discussing that has to do with us. Let's watch.
And this is VOP This Morning. I am Moses Humphrey, welcoming you on board.
And I'm Fina Okechukwu. Welcome to the Thursday's edition of the show.
My name is Chukuma Okoro. Good morning, and thanks for joining us on VOP This Morning show.
Now let's get into the conversation for today. Afenifere warns of fascism under President Bola Tinubu's administration as Nigeria's 2024 budget faces scrutiny.
And ahead of the September 28th governorship election in Edo State, the PDP and APC are at each other's throats over arrests made by the police. And the state governor has come out to say, look, we are not likely to sign the peace accord today.
Interesting times indeed. Oh, well. Well, these are the conversations that we'll focus on this morning. Do well to subscribe to the YouTube page. It's Voice of the People TV on YouTube. And also, do well to follow us. Click on the bell notification and let's know. Also, get conversing with us. Let's know what you think about the conversations we're having right here. On other social media platforms, we are at VOP.
Standard. Peaceful means for
Buhari, urging him to stop comparing their leader, Mazi Nnamdi.
Morning. Do well to subscribe to the YouTube page. It's Voice of the People TV on YouTube. And also, do well to follow us. Click on the bell notification and let's know. Also, get conversing with us. Let's know what you think about the conversations we're having right here. On other social media platforms, we are at VOP TV Live. But on YouTube, it's Voice of the People TV.
Talking about following us this morning, we have interesting topic also that made it to the radar. We have to look at it, the trending topics too. The indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, has issued a strong warning to Ahmed Bashir, the former media aide to ex-President Muhammad Buhari, urging him to stop comparing their leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, to the notorious bandit leader, Bello Turji. IPOB emphasized that Kanu does not support terrorism, unlike Turji and his associates. Ima Powerful, the IPOB spokesperson, stated that Kanu's only crime was to establish the Eastern Security Network, ESN, which he said is to...
I want you to pay attention to the contents. Because one thing you have to bear in mind while we are listening is that the Zoological Republic will always prefer to report something that is going to benefit them. IPOB Nigeria is no longer existing. There is nothing called a more powerful. Nobody in that, no human being on that name. They have come by themselves to confess and say there is nothing that. So anything you see them talking is them answering themselves. The IPOB Nigeria, formed by Nigeria, working for Nigerian government, we always say things in order to woo people. But everything they are saying here is babadash. It doesn't have any effect. The only person standing and speaking up for Biafra today is the Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa. And we no longer have an organization called IPOB. What we have today is the government of Biafra. We are no longer operating as a government, as an organization. The IPOB of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has been transformed into a government. So anybody that is saying anything today and mentioning on behalf of IPOB, you are wasting your garden time. They know it and they will. That is why each time they prefer to dig into those fake things. But the Biafran government that is legitimate, they are so scared to call Biafran government or Biafran Liberation Army. But they will prefer to talk about the disbanded and forgotten IPOB Nigeria. Let's listen why we have that information in mind.
Protect the Southeast region. He criticized Bashir for equating Kanu with terrorists, highlighting that Kanu's mission is legal and noble. And before the cameras were on, I was having this conversation with Chukuma this morning, and he said something that got me wow. They were like, okay, are you serious? Are you willing to say that again? We're talking about the ways to go for people who are agitating, those that want to, secede from a particular government.
Fina, before it gets to the level of agitation, you have to understand that the peaceful means for resolution of disagreements must have been closed out against the people that want to leave. So when those means, peaceful means, when those avenues are closed out, the people are left with no option
than to agitate,
than to resort to agitation. And in the process of agitation, you have things like civil disobedience, and if it is not properly handled, it could spin out of control and get to the level of sabotage up until the time that it descends even to warfare. That is why nations go to war. That is why you have interstate wars. That was what happened in Nigeria between 1967 and 1970. That was what.
I want you to listen to how this man explained the progression of agitation. The man explained how agitation can progress. You move from ordinary agitation online and shouting, "Oh, hey, Biafra." You move on to some actions of taking to defend yourself. You move on to self-defense. And from self-defense, it can move up to warfare. You don't stand stagnant on one place and agitating for donkey years. You start your agitation, civil agitation, peaceful agitation. It will begin to graduate. If you are not listened to, if they don't listen to you, you have to progress and graduate. Now you understand why the IPOB in Nigeria are a bunch of idiots and clowns. Obi is a boy. Every year they are in agitation. For more than 13 years. For more than 13 years, they have not made any move. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have finished every single thing that has to be done with agitation. And some idiots are still in that agitation today. But in Biafran government, under our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, we are progressing. Today we are in restoration. In that restoration, everything that needs to be done will be done. We are going to question the presence of the zoo in Biafran territory by all means possible. I want you to listen carefully how this man explained about that progression in agitation.
So when those means, peaceful means, when those avenues are closed out, the people are left with no option
than to agitate,
than to resort.
When you people talk and you don't listen to them, they are left with no option than to resolve in other things. Listen carefully.
Something that got me wow. They were like, okay, are you serious? Are you willing to say that again? We're talking about the ways to go for people who are agitating.
The way to go for people who are agitated. Listen carefully.
Particular government.
Before it gets to the level of agitation, you have to understand that the peaceful means for resolution of disagreements must have been closed out against the people that want to live. So when those means, peaceful means, when those avenues are closed out, the people are left with no option
than to agitate,
than to resort to agitation. And in the process of agitation, you have things like civil disobedience, and if it is not properly handled, it will spin out of control and get to the level of sabotage.
Up
until the time that it descends even to warfare. That is why nations go to war. That is why you have interstate wars.
It will get
that was what happened in Nigeria between 1967 and 1970. That was what happened in Sudan between 1959 and up until 2006. When they got the comprehensive peace agreement that now gave them independence after 5 years. But that was before a referendum had been conducted.
Yeah.
And the people of South Sudan clearly voted to leave Sudan.
Now, looking at the way Bashir came up with this comparison, saying that Nnamdi Kanu, he's comparing him to Brgie. You also recall that federal government.
I think it's an unfair comparison.
But now, if he says an unfair comparison, then why would the federal government move swiftly to go and prescribe IPOB, calling them a terrorist group?
You have also come back to the issue of closing the peaceful means for resolution of crisis. That is why the federal government is doing this. If the federal government went to court and asked the court to declare IPOB a terrorist group, which it did within 4 or 5 days, then IPOB went to another court, and the court said, no, IPOB is not a terrorist organization. So clearly, the leader of IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, cannot be said to be a terrorist. Meanwhile, the international organizations, international security organizations, have designated Boko Haram, bandits, even Miyetti Allah as one of the 7 deadliest terror groups in the world. Yet, we have a federal government that cannot declare Miyetti Allah, Boko Haram, and bandits as terrorists. When you use the word terrorism, it calls for action on the part of the international community. But when you say they are bandits, you are able to shield them from the international action.
Now, what do you think would be the reason?
Do you now see the game that Nigeria is playing? This man has just explained it properly. And by the way, the truth remains that IPOB itself, when they were there as an organization, was never a terrorist organization. Even in that Nigeria, IPOB is not a terrorist organization. Even in Nigeria. But they will come to their conventional media and they will say, proscribe the group. But in their court, in their own court, in their written court, their court have said that IPOB as an organization is not a terrorist group. Therefore, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, who is the leader, is not a terrorist and has never ever been. He was never found guilty anywhere. Neither was IPOB. But they continue to push these lies. And they push us and push us and push us until today. The IPOB Mazen Nnamdi Kanu has now become a government. And they cannot help it. They are scared. I want you to listen carefully to the explanation of this man. He touched a lot of important issues.
IPOB went to another court, and the court said, no, IPOB is not a terrorist organization. So clearly, the leader of IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, cannot be said to be a terrorist. Meanwhile, the international organizations, international security organizations, have designated Boko Haram, bandits, even Miyetti Allah as one of the 7 deadliest terror groups in the world. Yet, we have a federal government that cannot declare Miyetti Allah, Boko Haram, and bandits as terrorists. when you use the word terrorism, it calls for action
Yeah.
on the part of the international community. But when you say they are bandits, you know, you are able to shield them from the international action.
Now, what do you think could be the reason the government is yet to, you know, do the needful, as in telling or calling out what they are, telling them that they are terrorists up until today? Because we also have names that have been given to the federal government saying that these are the people who are sponsoring or financing terrorism in Nigeria, and they are yet to call them.
It tells you clearly that the federal government is not sincere in the fight against insecurity. You know, they are. It's kind of like you said something, almost you said something yesterday about selective justice or selective injustice. Yeah. Whatever it is, the fact remains that it is just selective. You know, you have different laws for different set of people. And that is what is keeping us down as a people in this country.
Well, one would say ESN, unfortunately, they've had certain actions that has been attributed to them, certain actions in line of killings of people within the southeast. Now, but unfortunately, just like was it the IGP that made that statement yesterday, that political assassins and certain individuals are now hiding under, the guise of insecurity, the guise of banditry, the guise of things like that to perpetrate such evil. So one then starts to ask, how can you differentiate the two? How can you differentiate an organization that is set up to protect a particular set of people?
Why is he coming out to tell us this? He should flush out the people. So he's telling us that some criminal elements hide under, so that we'll do what? We will go after the people, or he should go after the people. You know, so it's all. I don't know how some of our people will come out. We don't need that information. What we need is that, look, we have arrested the perpetrators of this crime or what, and we have sent them to court to be prosecuted, to give us numbers of people who have killed, and they are, in courts, and the courts have said, look, sentence them either to life or to whatever kind of punishment. That is what we want to hear.
I don't really understand why Bashir will wake up and draw that line of comparison between Kanu and Brgie. I've not really seen Kanu having a motor or hijacking a military vehicle, but we see every time that Brgie pull out a video, even when the phone was ringing, I didn't see either he's threatening a particular people or he's threatening the government or the military. And then we also see him and his boys also carry out so many other heroes activities in the north. The last one was taking over a large hectare of land that belonged to farmers, saying no one should actually step in.
That's the last one.
That's not the last one. They are levies. They are levies in place of farmers. 30 million now.
30 million. They were kind enough, magnanimous enough to reduce it from 50 to 30 million. Farmers. And we have a government come out to tell us, oh, this is what the bandits are doing.
And that led me to an alleged video of a cleric in Sokoto State. That was he made a video where he was calling out some political elites, saying that they are not sincere in fighting insecurity in the north, over the fact that some of them also buy hillocks for the kingpin who have been, logistics. They do.
There was a particular circular that traded from one of the state governments, where
there's a particular amount
a person individual was making a case, for government to pay a certain number of people, certain amount of money, so that they can keep them at bay.
Oh, okay.
Like some sort of amnesty.
Some sort of amnesty, and it's going to be a continuous one, or maybe after 2 months they'll come back again.
All right. Also, one other story that trended out yesterday was that Gani Adams, the Arona Kakonfo of Yoruba land, has voiced strong disapproval of President Bola Tinubu's administration, highlighting the severe economic challenges faced by Nigerians. Adams emphasized that the current economic hardship is becoming unbearable for the citizens. He pointed out that since President Tinubu took office, the economic situation has worsened significantly, noting that the price of essential commodities, particularly fuel, has skyrocketed, making it difficult for ordinary Nigerians to afford basic necessities. Adams urged the government to take immediate action to alleviate people's suffering, especially now that Nigerians are not really, they are finding it difficult to get the basic things that they need. A cup of rice, the price of it is still very high, even when the government say that they're going to open the borders and let people import foods into the country without paying any duty. We call that duty free. Now, Moses, do you think this is going to in any way, this call by Gani Adams, is going to in any way help or get to the president to help mitigate the sufferings of Nigerians?
Well, of course, it will get to the president. Now, whether or not he acts on it is a different thing. But the issue about, we've been having this conversation around those voicing out. Who do they represent? Yeah. Do they represent the Yoruba people? Do they represent a certain group of individuals? But I think the words of Areono Kakanfo, Gbogbo Yoruba, that's how it's called, Gani Adams, one would say if he speaks, he should ordinarily represent the entire Yoruba people. And I like the fact that this is coming from such a revered individual. And I think the president and those around him, I mean, if it's not getting to the president, because there's this ideology that the president is not aware that he's been shielded from a lot of things going on.
The chief whip said that too.
Oh, yes. But I do believe these individuals have certain access to the president. And it's good that he's hearing this. And I expect some level of action. I expect that the troubles, the pains that people face will be alleviated.
About representation. Gani Adams doesn't have to represent anybody. He can represent himself. You can represent yourself. So it cuts across ethnic borders. Nigerians, every Nigerian is suffering, whether you are Yoruba, you are Igbo or what. But I won't be surprised to hear, from the people who handle our president, when they come out to say today or tomorrow or later that Gani Adams is probably sponsored by the Labour Party.
Opposition party,
he doesn't like Tinubu's face. Yeah. He once had a problem with Asuwaju in 1997 and all of that. So that is why he's spilling now and all of that. But they will not address the issue that he raised, the concerns that he shared. They will not address it. They will simply say, they will come and walk around it to say Gani Adams is against President this or that, he's sponsored by this or that.
Well,
that's not the right thing to do.
Let's not speculate or assume things. Well, let's get into the newspapers now. Let's just take a look at the stories that made it to the cover pages of the dailies before we get into the conversation.
Thank you, my fellow Biafrans that are watching, wherever you're watching from. We have just touched the actual part we are supposed to know about. That was the part that we are discussing about. But it's unfortunate that these idiots, they continue to interrupt and continue to cause confusion among us. I see no reason why any person that is mentally sound will begin to compare Mazen Nandekano with a terrorist who has threatened them. A terrorist who they have seen with arms and ammunition seize their APC armored personnel tank, and they couldn't recover it. Instead of them going to recover that APC, they are busy now talking about Biafran people and preaching some idiotic messages against us. Wherever you are as a Biafran, I urge you to stand up for yourself. Do not allow the blackmail and the propaganda of the enemies to get you. We must go home. And no amount of their propaganda will stop us from leaving the Zoological Republic. We are going to leave the zoo, whether they like it or not. We will leave the zoo. And wherever you are as a Biafra, you must know that our freedom is not negotiable. The Liberation Army of Biafra are ready to defend our land, and they will continue to do so.
Confirmation.
Nobody is talking about the agreement and how Nigeria become a country from amalgamation to fake independence to today present Nigeria. They put it under the carpet because nobody have risen up to challenge them. Nobody have risen up to question the existence of Nigeria. Until now, we are questioning it under the Biafra government in exile. And we'll question it with gun, we'll question it with bomb, we'll question it with civility, we'll question it diplomatically, and we'll question it politically. And that is the multi-dimensional approach. That thing they are avoiding to discuss, that particular existence of Nigeria or continuation of Nigeria, they have been avoiding to discuss, will be forced to discuss. They will be forced with the activities and the actions of the Biafra government in 2024. That's where we are going. That's why all these shenanigans, all this their regional government, all this nonsense you see happening are happening today. And they have not actually started hitting the point, because the point remains the continual existence of Nigeria as a country. They are not discussing it. What was the agreement of 1914? What was the agreement thereafter? Independent. What happened for after the 100 years of Nigeria? Nobody is discussing it. Our own British mandate terminated in 2014. That was when the British mandate terminated. When they say you have 100 years, after that we decide.
And we are not going to stop. I want the world to understand me very clearly. We are not going to stop. It doesn't matter what it takes. It doesn't matter how many lives they extinguish. It doesn't matter the genocidal tendencies they bring with them into our land. We are not going to stop. Everybody listening, everybody watching, everybody remotely interested in justice and peace must understand this. Our destination is freedom, and that very place we're heading to is Biafra. And nobody, no soul on this earth can stop us. Instead of Biafra not to come, we all perish. I want our adversaries, our enemies to understand this very, very clearly. We are not going to retreat, not one iota, not 1 inch, because Biafra must come. Because the hatred have continued to this very day. As I'm speaking and addressing all of you right now, they are still arresting, extrajudicially murdering people in our land, people who are alien to our culture, our way of life, our tradition. They are in our land directing their people to slaughter, to kill without mercy. Unfortunately, those we regard as political leaders have connived with these people to ensure the decimation of their own population. That is the type of nonsense we can no longer condone. As you all know, there is no significant Fulani presence in our land because our fathers taught us how to fight. And we are doing so today without apologies to any idiot. We're not going to apologize because we have been apologizing for nearly 50 years. And we have not gotten anywhere in terms of our collective advancement and development in the damnable zoological republic called Nigeria. That is why we must know what we're doing. And that is why anybody who is remotely interested in the affairs of our people must understand this, that we are determined, doubly determined. 50 years, or should I say 54 years, is a very long time, and 51 years since the end of the war. But now that we have come, or should I say now that God Almighty in heaven has determined that we should come, we are not going to relent. We are not going to do anything whatsoever to jeopardize the sanctity and the holiness of this very mission. We love our people.
The message is very clear to all the criminals who are parading themselves, trying to jeopardize the freedom of Biafra, to all the Afonjas, all the Ifajunas. The message is very clear to them. you cannot stop the coming of Biafra. It does not matter what you think. It doesn't matter how you feel. Your propaganda and your blackmail can never, ever stop the restoration of Biafra. Biafra will be restored whether you like it or you don't like it. I appreciate everyone that has participated on this program. Thank you for being part of it. Like and share this program to everyone. Share to family and friends. Share to everyone that is close to you. Make sure that this information gets across to everybody. It is very important that we must get this message out. Hear this from our Prime Minister before we leave.
I am not a pushover, and I believe Nigeria have seen that. If you think that Simon Ekpa is somebody you can push over, then you don't know me. I am here to end Tinubu. I am here to end Nigeria. I am here to end the Usman Danfodio legacy. I will end it. The people who have ended it in their different countries doesn't have to head. I am going to be more than any of all those people who have fought freedom, including Gandhi. I am here to be more than Gandhi. Gandhi did not even fight the kind of demons that we have in Nigeria. Nelson Mandela did not fight the kind of demons that we have in Nigeria. And so I brought out myself, I'm well cooked for this particular freedom. So anybody thinking that Simon Ekpa is going down, you don't know what is coming. You still have a long way to go. I will be here to finish this job. And by December, I will issue a declaration for the restoration of the independent state of Biafra. And the flag of Biafra will rise very, very high all over the world. That day, every liaison office all over the world of Biafra will rise the Biafra flag very, very high. We will raise it very, very high from homeland to all over the world. And then after that, the diplomatic battle will begin for recognition of Biafra government.
It's blacks on the beat.
Biafra, the only hope we have. We salute you. We appreciate you. We salute you. We appreciate you. No. Amadike, one no Biafra. Odogu, Chukwaki, Kechekwagi, let it in the rogi. Dragon Master, Biko do. My Prime Minister, Atakata Abo. Take us to bus stop. The era you do to Nayasi. Anya Chikenewo, everybody knows in a jogodo. We want to go, yo. Enu na. We appreciate you, Biafra, appreciate you. We salute you, Biafra, they salute you. We appreciate you, Biafra, appreciate you. We salute you, Biafra, they salute you. Cabinet members, download, media people, GCK. Deep down our heart in your Biafra, GCK. We are proud of you, we are very, very grateful, GCK. We cannot forget all your sacrifice, GCK. We appreciate you, Biafra, appreciate you. We salute you, Biafra, they salute you. We appreciate you, Biafra, appreciate you. We salute you, Biafra, they salute you.
It's blacks on the beat.
They're going to put yo. Biafra Liberation Army, Biafra Defense Force, Biafra Marino, Biafra National League, Omunikwe Battalion, we cannot forget all your sacrifice, we appreciate you, Biafra, appreciate you. We salute you, Biafra, salute you. We appreciate you, Biafra, appreciate you. We salute you, Biafra, they salute you. Biafra is here. Special thanks to Moses Simon for the Prime Minister. Udo.
Biafra na-enwe ọṅụ. Ụmụ Israel na-enwe ọṅụ. Ọnwụ ka anyị ji ana. Ọnwụ ka anyị ji ana. Hey! Na so, anyị ala. Ụmụ Biafra n'ala. Anyị na-ala n'ala nsọ. Ngwanụ ka anyị lawa. Aka kpuchi ọnwa. Aka kpuchi ọnwa. We are unstoppable. We are indefatigable. Ebe anyị na-ala bụ obodo ọma. The 14 states of Biafra. Ngwanụ. Anyị ana. Ihe Chidere odego ya. Chidere anyị Biafra. Anyị alawala. Ma ndị nọ n'obodo oyibo, ma ndị nọ na Naịjirịa, ma ndị nọ na mba ụwa ọzọ dị iche iche. Obi kadawala. Ọ na-akpanyụ n'ugwu na ndịda. Oge ụnụ anyị erugo. Webe ọṅụ. Webe ọṅụ. Webe ọṅụ. Eluigwe na-enwe ọṅụ. Anyị pụọ. Anyị pụọ. Ana m anụ ya. Na so. Bayagba, 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 bayagba. Shuka. Na so we dey do am. Papa jiri ya nwayọ. Mama gbara m egwu a. Nwayọ. Ụmụaka ụmụ Biafra ụmụ ọma. Anyị ana-anụ. Anyị ana-anụ. N'obodo ọma ahụ. Obodo kwere anyị na nkwa. Ekene otito dị n'ọbasi nke igwe. Eze chite nke abịa ama ụra. Onye na-etinye ụzọ ebe ụzọ na-adịghị. Odumala. Biafra, amen.